And welcome to the City of Guadalupe regular meeting of Guadalupe Recreation and Parks Commission, Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. The Recreation and Parks Commission meeting will be broadcast live streamed on the City of Guadalupe's official YouTube channel. If you don't wish to choose to attend to the Recreation Commission Parks meeting, wish to make a comment during the community participation forum or speak on a specific item, agenda item, please submit via email to where it says right here, no later than 2 p.m. Did we have any?
No, we do not.
Thank you. We can move on to that. Go on to item number 1, roll call, please.
Joseph Harris,
Present.
Enrique Ortiz, Emily Dreiling,
Present.
Michael Jimenez,
Present.
Arnulfo Navarro.
Thank you. Move to item number 2, pledge of allegiance. Please stand. Position, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Rachel. It's item number 3, community participation forum. At this time, we don't see anybody here. We'll move to item number 4, consent calendar. The following item representative is for the commission's approval without discussion of a single agenda item in order to expedite the meeting. If a member of the Recreation Parks Commission wishes to discuss or disapprove an item, it must be dropped from the blanket motion of approval and be considered as a separate item. Item A, approval of the minutes of the Recreation Parks and Commission regular meeting of May 7th, 2024. Looking for a motion. A motion. We need a motion. We have a second.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Move to regular business. And we have the Boys and Girls Club update. And no respond or anything from it?
I did not receive their report this month. They have been made aware of all our meetings all the way through the end of the year, as of last month in writing. And I asked them to please email it to me ahead of time so that I could provide it to you if they did not show up.
Maybe keep a count of every time they don't show up. Or keep a count of how many times it's happened. So they have that agreement with us. Keep us informed.
Is there a written agreement? I know I read the lease. And they're supposed to report to the county.
In the contract, they do have to provide us a written agreement or a written report stating their activities, their future activities for the next 90 days, as well as totals of kids that have come, things like that, just so that you kind of know the activity level.
And how often? Every month?
Every month they're supposed to report to the Recreation Commission. I asked them to please report to me a week prior to the meeting. That way I have time to put it either in the agenda or at least I have it ready to present to you if they can't show up in person.
What are the consequences or repercussions if they continue to ignore it?
There are none listed in the contract in writing, but that is something that the Recreation Department is looking into.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item number 6, Backwood Crown third project updates.
Yes. All right. So about 2 weeks ago, I went up to Sacramento and had the opportunity to speak with the California Natural Resource Office, and then also planning a follow-up meeting with the California Parks Department. And the meeting went really well. It was really kind of eye-opening for me in some capacity, in the fact that my mentality when writing these grants, I thought that our state representatives had a better grasp of Guadalupe, just even that where we like to be able to find us on a map. The fact that that's kind of a gap right now is just getting people aware of like who we are, where we're located at, and really trying to build some relations with these different offices is really the first step. The turf, there's very specific grants that are out there. There's even one that is like a turf specific grant. It just hasn't opened up yet for this year. So it was nice to hear that they're like, what we're asking for is in alignment with what the funding is. It was nice to meet the people. It was nice to be able to point on a map and to be able to say, and this is where we're at. But one of the big recommendations was we haven't had a lot of smaller grants specific to parks and recreation. We've had like Leroy and some other ones, but the more grants that we can show, we got the money, we did what we said we would do, and we were very successful with it, will help build a stronger reputation for the city as we go forward. And so they did provide me 2 different grants that are upcoming. So one is this one here, I printed out all the attachments. It's the California Arts in California Parks Grant. And so being able to write and apply for these smaller ones, this one would be $50,000 is what we're asking for. And it would give us the opportunity to grand open Las Mujeres Park with a really nice like headlining band, some art, some dancing, all that kind of stuff, and actually have a good budget for that. And the other grant that's coming up here just shortly, I think it's going to open on June 14th, is specific to getting kids out into nature in the community. And that one has a lot of parameters that we can go. I won't go too far into detail on all of it, but it does feel like it would be a really good alignment for us as well. So the big takeaway from the meeting in Sacramento was that we need to be applying for these smaller grants. We need to be showcasing that the city is active and interested in making them work. And the more that we can get our name out there for people to understand that we're here, we want to do good in our community, and we're more than just the numbers that are on the spreadsheets. Because right now they type in our zip code and there's a lot of facts that come up about our city, not of which like more like what's our education rate, our poverty rate, our obesity rate, like stuff like that, that I just don't think really reflects who our city is and how great it is to live here. So the more that we can tell that story by applying for these other grants will help us gain greater traction as more funding comes open for Jack O'Connell. So that was the Sacramento trip. I am going back to DC at the end of this next month. And so I do plan on having a meeting with Carvajal's office while I'm back there as well. So more to come, no money yet, but I'm still making sure people know who we are.
Appreciate your efforts. Question on that second grant that you mentioned or opportunity. What's the name of that? Is that a coastal commission or is that?
It's not, I don't know the exact name of it. It was pre-released, so they kind of gave me this one's coming down. But it's specific towards getting kids out in nature. There's the opportunity to even buy clean vehicles if transportation is our issue. So if that was something ever in the future, like we wanted to buy a small minibus to be able to take kids out. There's also opportunities with that other one where if a kid is participating in this, so they can have a stipend associated with being a part of this program. So a lot of kids, I know parents do rely on them potentially as an income source sometimes, like to be working or other things. This would be if they were part of this, it's almost like an internship where they could get money for being a part of this program too. But everything should be released mid-June, which I guess is right around the corner on that other.
Yes. So is there any actual updates on the grant that you submitted?
No, nothing yet. It's still pending and they've not, the original funding source got pulled back to the general budget. And they're trying to determine if the general budget is gonna re-release that money for consideration.
Yeah, considering the way things are going with the economy and the state budget, it's gonna look difficult. But I mentioned the last time we were here about the Arredondo, their lobbyists, right? And I mentioned it to Todd. I don't know if he's gotten back to you, but I wanted to see if he did. I mean, they're there and they offered their services free in Sacramento.
Okay.
So I think it's, you know, or it's hitting them up, you know, and that's what they do. They lobby and.
Yeah, that was another part of this conversation, that it was pretty apparent that there's a really strong strategy towards how do you build your narrative, getting those lobbyists. Kind of in a strange turn of events, Jack O'Connell actually was in the building that I was in. And so I was, you know, a little like, oh, Jack O'Connell's here. Does he know the status of his park? And so I think that's kind of interesting and maybe a future conversation to, you know, does and I did, I asked the individual that I met with, the grant administrator, hey, I actually, in all seriousness, would love the opportunity to speak with him and really tell him what his park looks like, because I think if my name was on a park that was in disrepair, I'd probably, to his credibility, maybe he just doesn't know that it's gotten to that point and could potentially champion
What's his?
helping us. He is like a capital investment person that's in a lobby group in that building, so.
He needs to know about the park.
Typical, I guess, after they leave politics, they go into.
Yeah, so more to come on this one, and then kind of the very last thing on this is that the more that we can engage our state representatives in understanding more about the story of Guadalupe, that's always something that's, I guess I hadn't thought a lot about that before, but inviting Salud Carbajal, he probably wouldn't come himself necessarily, but maybe one of his aides or representative, like coming out to the field, like while we're having bulldog practice, or seeing the kids, and whatever we can do to help get them more invested in our story was also a recommendation from that meeting.
I wonder if we should go to the news and the word out, and maybe get some, them see that big thing over and see the story and what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We should, yeah.
Anyway, very good. Any more questions? Updates?
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you're doing.
Fingers crossed, one day I'm gonna be here and I'm like, we got to change.
Very great. Do we have any update on Laughlin?
So unfortunately, my meeting is going to be on Thursday, so it's kind of weird. The last meeting we had here, I was able to give you 2 updates, one for April and one for May because of the way it hit, and then this time I don't have anything new other than what they told me in May, which was literally we're still working on the water tower issue and the cell towers being on there. And once we can get through that, we can keep moving. I did not get any further updates from lawyers on where exactly they stand. I'm still trying to get that information. I'm not sure if it's being provided yet or if you need to wait. But I'm working on it. I'm keeping an eye on it.
Do whatever you can.
Yeah.
I have a question. The grant, when did we get the grant? Anybody know when we got the initial grant?
Unfortunately, I don't have that information because I wasn't here.
Wasn't that like 3 years ago?
3 years.
Right when I joined the commission, and that's been about 3 years ago.
And then I was looking at, I think you sent out kind of like a timeline. right?
I did. They provided that to me late after our meeting last month, and I thought that would be good for you guys to have.
And I noticed, I think final completion like in 2028 or something. Is that accurate? Did you guys see that? I may be wrong. I guess.
I thought it was 2025.
Yeah,
2025.
I think it was 2025.
Something, okay.
I can take
yeah,
another
I think the performance had to be done by 2025.
Okay. Okay, I was just thinking 2028, man.
No, it's not.
Pretty old already. But, okay, I guess I really didn't have a question. I'm sorry.
No problem. Thank you.
Great conversation. Item number 8, Guadalupe Adult Softball League.
Yeah, so unfortunately, after 2 whole months of advertising it and having the registrations open, we did not have enough registrations to meet the minimum to be able to pull that off. But I did get a request from some of the teams to maybe try to give them the possibility of just doing like a day tournament. Yeah, so I'm getting back to them this week or next week. I'm looking into that and seeing, I have to speak with my parks department and see what that would take, because the field does need a little maintenance, so I'm not sure how fast they could do that to give them a date. So in between them giving me a dates of when they're available, I'm waiting on that, and then I'm waiting on the parks to tell me like what they could do.
See, if we do that day, you have vendors even show up.
Well, they kind of were just saying they just wanted to do it on their own. not necessarily through us. They were like, hey, can we like use the park for the day, or excuse me, the softball field for the day and do this on our own? But it was a very quick conversation, so I'm kind of waiting to hear back from them on, first of all, they were gonna talk to all the teams that wanted to do it and see what dates they wanted to do it, which will then allow me to know, am I available to do something more, or do I just let them use the softball field to do it themselves? Because I do have a busy June, so I just need to see what they're planning. But I can get you more information probably on the next meeting.
Yeah, thinking they should do their own thing, that's not a bad thing either.
I felt like 2 months was quite the sufficient time for people to register. So it was a little disappointing, but, yeah, there's always next time. Yeah, there's plenty of things happening in June, so,
Hopefully they'll learn about not finding them ahead of time.
yeah, the one thing that the rec department is working on is cutoff dates, and they're hard cutoff dates. We have to move on to the next event. We have plenty of planning to do, and we're a very small team. So when it does say May 22nd, it means May 22nd. It does not mean May 23rd or June 1st. Yeah, and I did get a lot of requests for, can you do it? Can you wait 2 more weeks? And after 2 months, no, I can't wait 2 more weeks, because like I said, I have a packed schedule for June, and I think they don't realize that there's so many other things that you're planning, and so it's not like you're just sitting around waiting for softball to happen. Like, you have 4 or 5 other events you're doing all the way into the beginning of July. So with all due respect, the deadlines do need to be respected, and I like to make them ample so that it really allows everyone to have plenty of time. And if they don't see the flyer maybe in the first month, they see it in the second month, they still have plenty of time to get it in. And everything is always on the website, and everything is always available in our office. So there's that.
They'll adjust. We just had a really good weekend getting our cheerleaders all signed up for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, so you know all
After 3 years, and like, we had almost 100% attendance. It was,
Yeah.
it was a miracle. I'm not even joking.
I feel like people do adjust.
They do, because they know I'm not gonna extend it.
Exactly.
And I'll tell
Yeah.
them, oh, you missed out, sorry,
Right,
next year.
absolutely.
Very good. Item number 9, 8-day events.
Yeah, so I was approached by Slow Roll, initially through NUFO. And he was approached through Slow Roll, and they were trying to work out how to do a skate day event. And they asked about having it at Jack O'Connell on the basketball courts. And so of course I kind of went out there, looked at it, figured out, yeah, that's gonna work, that's safe. We got it nailed down to Saturday, June 15th from 12 to 2 p.m. They are going to have free skate rentals for sizes from little kids all the way up through adult. They also are going to have lessons that are by Doomsday Skate Event. And I'm sorry, the rentals are provided by Everyone Skates. And we're also going to have food vendors there. I'm trying to get either ice cream or shaved ice, and also a food vendor, so that if you're hungry, because it is about lunchtime, and it might be a warm day, hopefully. So it's gonna be a good time. There's gonna be music. I would love to have, yeah. So there's music, food, sugar, rentals,
Drinks are made.
rentals and instructors. I mean, you can't ask for much more. Also want everyone in the community to know that we are gonna have plenty of translators there. So everyone is welcome. We would like to see everyone there. I don't want anyone to feel like, maybe if they go, the instructor won't be able to instruct them in Spanish. We will have people there to help with that. So if everyone could go on our Instagram and our Facebook page and share away, I'd appreciate it. It is coming up pretty soon here.
Very exciting.
I think it's gonna be really well attended. Everything I've seen on social media, people are getting excited about the event.
I saw someone talk about it the day I posted it, before I posted it, because they must have heard from Slow Roll. So I was like, well, that's great. And they were already excited. So they were already telling all their friends.
Very good. Item 11, Art in the Park.
Can we do 10?
Moving night.
10. Excuse me. Moving it.
Okay, awesome. So as I let you guys know, last month, We are having our first movie night on Friday, June 21st at 6 p.m. It is gonna be inside of the community center at Leroy Park. And by inside, you're gonna be nice and toasty and warm. We're going to have popcorn available as well as our vendor from Lobo. He's gonna have food and snacks and candy and all sorts of fun stuff. I also asked everyone to come in their favorite, jammies, bring their blankets, bring their stuffies, like get comfy. I'm gonna make sure that there's plenty of space for everyone to spread out. And then there's also gonna be seating for parents or any children that want to sit as well. So that's gonna be, I think, super comfortable versus being outside. We also have the dates listed on my flyer that I have on social media for July 12th, August 30th, and September 7th. It's always gonna be a Friday night, and it's always gonna be in the same place, same time. A week prior to the movie date, you're going to find out what the movie is on social media. So you can look on our Instagram or our Facebook page and you'll find out what that movie is. I'm trying to provide the latest, newest movies possible. So I'm trying to wait until the very last minute so that I can see what's available for me to buy or rent so that I can provide a new movie so that it feels more like you're going to the movie theater instead of watching a rerun.
Great. Any questions or comments?
Just to comment on the skates on the flyer, 'cause I'm not sure on the English one, because the skates are free.
Everything is free.
That's not quite clear to me on the skates. I thought they had to rent the skates.
Free rental?
Skate use rentals provided by everyone skates. State use rentals. Skate. That doesn't, I don't understand. Is it me?
Maybe somebody trying to put it in.
Rental probably usually means with money, so
Right, that's
I
all I got.
I could see how it could be.
Gotcha. We got that text given to us by Slow Roll, so that's the wording we use. But I'm more than happy to update.
It just threw me off, but it could be me.
Yeah, I can update the flyer and I can put a little note on the side that says like free rentals, free instruction, or like,
Yeah.
completely free event or something like that.
Yeah, so
You could probably just like
Completely free.
say free skates,
Free
free skate rentals provided by everyone skates. So just cross out the word use and just put free on the front of it.
Okay, totally. We can get that done.
Skates.
Thank you for the comment. I appreciate that.
Mhm. Very good. Thank you.
No, no, thank you.
Anything on the art in the park?
Yes. Art in the Park it's gonna be our first annual Art in the Park. It is going to be on Sunday, June 30th, which is Black Sunday and the last day of June. Gonna be from 11 to 3 p.m. at Leroy Park outside. We're gonna have craft tables, probably about 5 or 6 of them with craft activities for anybody and everyone that would like to attend and go to them. There's gonna also be games, like yard games, and they're all gonna have prizes. We're gonna have face painting and a kids paint with me class at 12 o'clock on the dot. That is sharp. That is gonna be inside of the community center. There'll be signage for that. Just want it to be more comfortable and not have things flying away while you're trying to paint or get your face painted. There's also gonna be info booths inside of the community center. Again, for the same reasons, they have a lot of literature. We don't want it flying away. Outside, we're going to have craft vendors, food vendors, music, and like I said, the craft tables and also have bounce houses. So it's a completely free event. There's no charges other than if you purchase something from the craft vendors or the food vendors. Everything else is completely free and all are welcome near and far.
I hope it gets packed.
I hope so too. That is definitely our biggest event of July, and so I would say it again, the more people that share it, I would really appreciate it, especially sharing, excuse me, in June. I appreciate if people share it like further, Santa Maria or Orchid or Nipomo, because I feel like those communities are close enough that it would be great to get their attendance as well and let them see what we have to offer. Also on that note, I would like to ask if anybody's viewing us from the community. I am looking for more vendors that either sell craft, handmade items, unique items, artwork, anything kind of in that creative art space. I have spots available, and I'd like to fill them. I have about, a little over 10 spots. So if they can reach out to the recreation department with their information, I'd be more than happy to get back to them.
Maybe you could post that too, that you're looking for more vendors.
I have posted it a couple times. I'm gonna keep posting it different ways. Yeah.
One thing that might be kind of cool is just as we're trying to get the extended community involved, if we reached out, I know Todd's worked with, I think it's KSB at Y News. Isn't that who interviewed you for the fashion show? And it was really nice. It was really cool turning on the news and I'm like, I know that guy. But if we could maybe see if we could pitch like a recreation June spotlight where maybe they come out to all 3 of our events and make it like recreation in June in the city of Guadalupe or something. Some of the stories are not as exciting as others. Like there was one not too long ago, like a frat party like jumped a fence and rode a horse and it made the news. So I don't think we're competing with like super high end news like going.
That
It
was,
was a cool story.
that was big news. I heard it all over.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like something like this would be really cool if we got it to where they could come out each event and really showcase like how active our city is.
Yeah, I actually do have that on my list.
Oh, nice.
I'm really hoping to get that done either at the end of this week or next week. And I also am going to be putting out kind of an events calendar every month with all of our events on one page. Just so that it's more easily viewed by the community. They can kind of see like what we have available every week with drop-in, and then our extracurricular, like events and different things that we do as well.
I wish there was a way to find out, like the day we had dodgeball. Unbeknownst to me, there was people being dropped off in front of the city hall and walking.
Your mic isn't on.
Where are they going?
It was.
No, it wasn't.
Battery dead.
It wasn't. Anyway. And they were parking in front of the place, dropping off the kids, and the kids were going around the corner. That's a fight, somebody went to work. So there was a soccer expo going on near in school. The place was packed with people, tents and everything. And I was shocked, and we didn't know about it.
And I've been trying to figure out how to better know what's going on in the community so that I'm not double booking in a sense, because of course we have a small community. Not to say that we don't have members from other communities coming in, but the majority of the people that come to our events are from this community. So I don't want to have an event on the same day that another organization is having it, because then we're competing. Or if they're having it in the morning, I could have it later in the day, so I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I scour social media constantly and I follow all the different groups here locally just to try to watch for that. But unfortunately, some of them escape, or I plan mine before, I plan mine, they plan theirs, and then I market mine and they market theirs, and it just happens to be the same day or something. We're not all talking to each other, so they don't know what's coming down the pipeline. Just like I don't know what's coming down their pipeline. So,
and that was one of our goals a few years ago, to try to find some place where we could know everything that's going on in Guadalupe. And
No, that was something that was done. I'm sorry.
we were working on it.
I'm sorry.
I think somebody put one out, but it wasn't really complete a few years ago, like that flyer, pamphlet.
What I was getting at though is that that's something that the school district put on, correct?
I would assume.
Yeah, so I think that's where the disconnect is between us, because really it's only the city that has access to all the parks here, or the school district with their own facility. Everybody else has to either go through one of those two, right?
well, I've seen events done at the Red Barn. I've seen events.
Well, that's private, right? That's a private venue.
Yeah, I guess I just mean I've seen events done elsewhere that are open to the public, and again, I just am not aware of it in time.
Right.
I've already scheduled everything for June and July. So they might have scheduled something in July on the same dates that I'm scheduling it, but they just don't know and I don't know. So,
I'm just thinking, there's only so many venues in this city. And school district and the city probably have 80 to 90% of the venues in terms of, facilities. But there's a few private, like you pointed out, but. I think just connecting with them, letting you tell us what's going on so we can coordinate better.
yeah,
But sometimes they don't know that they probably would be cool to let us know too.
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely. The other thing I noticed too is that there's some organizations that are really well known here in Guadalupe, but maybe they're having their event in Santa Maria. Which happened with the wrestling team and Cinco de Mayo. They ended their season on the same day that I was having Cinco de Mayo. So, obviously community members from here would also go to their wrestling match, even in Santa Maria. So there's definitely want to work with the school district. That's a great idea. And thank you so much for that. I will jump on that, but I don't know, it would be great to have maybe just even all the internal people, administrators of these organizations, like have some sort of avenue where they can say, hey, planning XYZ on this date. It's not something that would be made public, nor would we in the group share it with the public, because you don't want to ruin, not the surprise, but the excitement of what's coming down, but it would kind of ensure that we don't double book in such a small community. So I'll think on that, and you guys think on that, and let.
I think it's something like you said, you have a full schedule, and that's when everybody's out of school, so that's school sports, and so, people are not busy, every weekend, they have kids, you got baseball, basketball, and everybody's, so they miss a lot of events here.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
It would be nice, even if we could get something on the calendar, like maybe twice a year, where all of like the key people in the community, like I would consider the city, the school district, some of the other bigger nonprofits, and everyone just came together and like, hey, here's our projections for the next however many months. I don't know. I feel like there's so much going on, but everyone's very like siloed in their like a silo of excellence. Like I'm doing this, but then they don't like look to the left and right to be like, oh, actually we could get involved too. And I mean, I don't know if it's too much to ask, but it would be nice to see the head stakeholders of the city, the school, all the like main players in town come together like twice a year.
Yeah, I do agree.
It sounds pretty organized. Look at that. We're doing work too.
Events, I do try to involve as many nonprofit organizations as possible, like the Cinco de Mayo. I had a ton of them out for Art in the Park. I think I have 3 or 4 organizations here locally that I've reached out to ask them if they'll run certain craft booths. So some of them are actually sponsoring the supplies and running the booth. Some are just running the booth for me. But of course, educating the public on what it is that they do for their particular nonprofit. So I try to share, but it's not ahead of time enough for what we're talking about. So I'll definitely take what you're saying.
I remember, I said I wasn't gonna talk. But I have an idea. What if, we offered a service, somebody, and you maybe, hear me out. That we offered it, called it like a community calendar, and we posted, like, even if it was an email address, it was just the community calendar for Guadalupe, and anybody could submit an inquiry to the community calendar, then you could keep the calendar, or we could post it on the website. It would be a twofold, we'd be helping the community and then also getting the info that we want. Just a thought.
Definitely.
Write that down.
She's all, nope. What if you had a council member do it?
I mean, I do have 5 commissioners, but I'll skip Joe because Joe's busy with dropping. But yes, I will keep that.
Sorry,
note
it's
and-
really
and
hard
work
for me
on
not to talk.
that. No problem, thank you.
Yeah, I just think we need the I think we just need to get people planning, thinking like, because the school has the kids, they have a good population, but just from my perspective, we just haven't had a really collaborative working environment or working relationship with them. Not that it's been bad, we just haven't, it's just not been as helpful as
Since I retired from school.
envisioned it. Yeah, once you stop going to handing out flags.
Gotta do something about that.
Absolutely.
I like that idea. I mean, getting more fault.
I did note it, I did write it down, I will take it back.
Not mine, I just did.
I appreciate, you know, we all have to get together and figure out these different issues and these weak points and try to make them better, and sometimes it's not instant, but we gotta start somewhere.
Well, we're driving to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very important.
And for the art in the park, my last comment on that is, I do need some help with a few different things that I'm gonna be doing there. In 2-hour shifts, because it's a 4-hour event, because I don't wanna take up someone's whole Sunday. So if anybody would like to help, it could be something as simple as just monitoring the bounce houses. I'm gonna have 2, one for younger kids, one for older kids. I just need to make sure that we don't go past the capacity and we keep the younger kids and the older kids separated just for safety reasons. So it's not really super involved and it doesn't take a whole lot of effort. I just need help. So it would be awesome if anybody that could help would reach out.
I'm already there.
And Joe is already helping. I already have him down, so we're gonna exclude him from that.
Be gone, or I would
Yes,
definitely
and
play
yes.
bouncer to the bouncer.
Absolutely. Yeah, down to the.
Can I bring my kid?
Bouncing the kids.
Cause I'll help, I'll watch a bounce house all day long.
Absolutely, you can bring your kid. They can bounce the 2 hours
I
away.
was gonna say, I got a 4-year-old that loves the bounce house.
Uh,
Put my name down, I'll help.
Okay,
Yeah.
definitely. And anybody in the community that wants to help, again, they can reach out via email, come to the recreation department, or they can call us.
At the rec table that I know you and Joe worked last time for Cinco de Mayo, do we track like asking people like, hey, how'd you hear about the event? So we can do more of that and then,
We did a little of that day.
We did a little bit of that. The other major thing that I'm trying to work on is to grow our followers on Facebook and Instagram, because the more followers I have, the more the information is getting out and being shared, because it takes literally a split second to press the share button. You don't even have to write anything. You just press share and it just goes. So that day, everyone that wanted candy just had to either show us that they followed one of our social media or follow our social media. And so the candy was gone.
nice.
So yeah. We did get quite a few followers. I've been kind of tracking before and after an event when I'm doing this, how many followers I had and how many I got after the event, and it is helping. Also at the bottom of every single flyer, I'm putting our QR codes for our social media, just in case someone doesn't know about it. That way they can keep updated. And I do realize that not everyone has social media, but that's why the flyers go all over town. That's why the flyers go posted at the parks. That's why I ask people that I know to share their flyers physically in different businesses, bulletin boards. It's also, I'm trying to put all the events on the marquee, and I'm also sending it to the school district. I did post all the flyers in person in every single classroom, like, you know, the paper flyer, up until just last week. And I didn't have time to get the next 3 flyers out to them fast enough for the end of the week. But they have gotten on the app. So I'm really trying to pull all the avenues possible, but if anybody has more ideas on how to market it to more people. Oh, I also take it to the food bank and I hand out 200 flyers at the food bank once a month. So,
There you go.
yeah. So let me know if you have any more ideas on how I can get it out.
Alright, came out. Let's see if it's been nice.
You could try to join our Guadalupe Bulldog Facebook page, and anybody that makes announcements, I'll share it. You should.
Awesome. Can you invite me? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Instagram and Facebook.
Yes, please.
And it's pretty much anybody that has a kid doing anything active in the communities on them.
I'll share it.
Perfect.
Whatever it is, anything positive, I'll share it.
Awesome. And all our events are completely free with the exception of food vendors or vendors that are selling items. So it really keeps it wide open to every single person at any point in time.
I'm so happy to be here. All this going on. It's great. We are at number 12, commission request, comments and meeting reports. Anybody?
I have a couple of comments. You wanna go first? Well, I wanted to congratulate you on the fashion show. It was a hit.
Oh, thank you. We had fun.
I have a suggestion because there's kind of a thing that's been going around here is getting help. I don't have time to help in all of this, but I'm thinking, what if we develop like ambassadors to the park and rec where you can get some college kids and high school kids to come out and help with events like this or other things that we're doing. I'm just throwing it out there as an idea. I mean, there's a lot of kids that probably need to volunteer,
Right.
but part of their community service or other things, you know, and to get like a small group, you don't have to get that many, 4 or 5 kids, you know. Say, hey, this is our ambassadors to Park and Rec. Let's get them going on a project to help you out and to help us out, right?
Like our
Because-
police explorer program, but
And
recreation
that was
explorer.
what kind of. I thought about it, thought process. I think it would be a good idea. I don't know. I don't know how to go about it in terms of with the city. I know how to do it in nonprofit, but with the city, I don't know, you know, you probably have to have. So the attorney look at some type of, you know, fingerprinting and all that other good stuff.
Probably do that.
Clearance.
So back in the day, we used to do it for, I think, when I ran the back.
Minors.
No, I don't think it's that.
Nothing minor.
It's not that complicated, no.
It's not that, I
I
think,
think for volunteering, because I have had other events that I'm asking community members to volunteer. I just ask them to volunteer and they say yes, and then they volunteer.
but if you can
Um,
get a crew, just an ongoing,
Right.
maybe like a 6-month commitment or something like
Right,
that.
right,
Hell, I'll even buy the damn t-shirts.
right.
But there is a lot of kids that have to do community service. We get those from the high school, so.
So there's already a source.
I used to do it back in our basketball program, people that even work off hours, they were doing their scorekeeping and doing other things.
Yeah.
On that note, and I know that sounds a little redundant because you're saying I'm looking for help and need the help. Is there anybody that would help me get that put together? Because I know I have 30 days in a month,
I'll figure it out.
but there's so many moving pieces to what I do every day, past events. There's a lot of city business I have to deal with that it's not event related. So
Meetings.
I have a
I'm-
really simple
I'm-
idea.
I'm trying to do all the different things all at the same time. And so I need the help, but then
To get that.
although that's an awesome idea, and I do think that that's a great way to go, maybe even just a 3-month commitment, it's short and fast. I need help getting that help together.
What if we just created a Google form or a Microsoft form? It's like a survey you fill out. Then they put in their name, they put in their email address, their age or whatever we ask. We make the form. I can do it in 5 minutes. And it's just a link. And you can give that link to anybody. You can email it out. You can put it on social media that if you're interested in volunteering for X, blah, 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 then they fill it out. Then you have an Excel spreadsheet at the end of it. It just pops out all their info and you have a running list. So if you need volunteers for an event, email the list.
I do actually have a hard copy or like a digital volunteer, but it's not like a Google.
I can make it, I
internet
literally
based.
could make it so quick. I mean, I do them for everything. So, but I think that could be a running list. You could send it out, you could send it out, you could send it out, and you guys do. I think it's a great idea.
Perfect, thank you.
I think I have a great idea.
People might be resistant to sign up for like a longer commitment, but if they know,
Oh, Dave.
hey, I'm gonna go on this listserv and when there's an opportunity, I'll get an email and then I can, oh, I am free that day. I think and it would be a nice way to rein in the people that are very vocal about what they'd like to see in the community and then help translate that enthusiasm, your quotes, into action. Like, hey, you really want to see this? Hey, come out and volunteer your time. And
So it's any age, but if you're gonna go with any age, you have to do the fingerprinting because they're gonna be around kids, right?
Well, if they're underage, you know.
But if
They're
they're,
underage.
But if they're volunteering, I don't believe they have to do the fingerprinting. If it was like a kids camp for a week, that would probably be different versus.
anytime they're around kids and they have a form filled out. That's the part of the city event. You're recruiting them, I think they have to be fingerprinted, I think. 'Cause
I'll look into that. If that is the case, then
Then you would just go 18 and under.
yeah, that would make it very difficult. And obviously you would have to project ahead, they would have to be like, I'm gonna help you with this event in a month. Because I know that the fingerprinting is by appointment. And there's also a cost associated with it. So then you would have to see, like, does the rec department pay the $25 every single time? Do they pay it? So I will look into that.
Or even just have somebody from the community recommend them, you know what I mean, someone that would vouch for that individual, something, I don't know. I mean,
I got it written down. Thank you.
there, that was my 2 cents.
An update on the Royal Theater.
I don't have that because that's not information that's given to me.
I have an update. We're having a big community meeting, a special council meeting on the 18th. If you, I unfortunately can't be there, but, actually I'm gonna attend via Zoom, but, on the 18th, I highly recommend if you have any interest in the Royal Theater, come watch or watch it online.
I think I mentioned last time that I sit on the nonprofit that's associated with the city. And that's the focus right now is on that issue right now with the Royal Theater. Now, I understand our role is just to find secure funding and as a nonprofit, you know, with the city, so. And for information, the 18th is gonna be very crucial, and I think the community needs to know because there's just so much misinformation going out there.
Yeah, there is probably a lot of.
Very hopeful.
You know, once that gets started, it just snowballs and
Yeah.
pretty soon it's a disaster.
Yeah, it's
We're
like-
trying
it's like-
to- and these are the things that we discuss at the meeting, you know, how do we control, it? How do we, and this is the first big step toward that.
Mhm.
Getting the correct information and Q&A, people could come in and ask the questions. But you're trying to be as transparent as possible. But it's a tough road right now. We're trying to get some money. That's our
Yes, we know.
I hope people attend, because I know when we've done the community forums, it's always very vocal online.
Yeah.
And then there's like 4 people. Well,
Yeah.
But I would love to see good participation. Go to the source, get the information, and then determine if it's a good fit for you or not, based on your.
I think
ability,
that's the
so.
big thing right now, right? The funding.
And I had to make a note. I'm gonna post that online because I feel like that's what people are getting. I don't know if anybody's really posted.
I think Garrett.
Will you please?
You think Garrett did? Okay.
Can you tag me on it when you post it and then I'll repost it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to be close.
I talked to, yeah, I won't go into council stuff here. Sorry. Yes, look online, come at the 18th.
I know there was like there was an invite out there on Facebook for the people that were looking on there, a lot of commentary. And then there was like a side Facebook group that somebody created kind of in opposition that also was.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go,
So,
It's interesting.
I'll go
there's a lot
find
of
that
info
one.
out there.
Yeah, there.
But the reliable info is June 18th.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
Well, thank you. Anybody else have any comments? Comments or questions? If not, at this time, we're looking for a motion of adjournment. Move. We have a motion, we need a second. Seconded. All those in favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye. Aye. If we need another adjourn, thank you for inviting us into your home this evening.